Hello everyone and welcome to game 2 in this series between Th000 and ZhouXiXi. Yes, in fact it is Th000. This is taken from the iFang Cup. And, well, game 1 really going to Th000 in a rather unorthodox manner. I had thought that ZhouXiXi had defended against Th000's initial rush rather well and had a superior advantage. He had a supply advantage, his hero was about even on level, and things were looking very good for ZhouXiXi. However, all of that unraveled in a matter of moments. Now, we are looking at ZhouXiXi setting down an Ancient of War. You can see that there is a Moonwell, but without an Altar of Elders, this does mean we are going to be seeing some sort of Tavern Hero. Now, Tavern Heroes are extremely strong for Night Elf players. Night Elf players generally benefiting from that early Moonwell to make sure that their Tavern Hero does stay up on mana. Now let's go ahead and come back around to the human player. The human player is setting up a barracks, does have an Altar of Kings, and Th000 is in fact going for that Mountain King. Mountain King extremely strong on Echo Isle and is going to be even more potent because there is no Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter with that mana burn normally shuts down that Mountain King rather quickly, forcing him to spend much of his gold on Clarity Potions. Instead, we're going to see that Mountain King most likely Militia clear out this mercenary camp right here, and then perhaps even this small creep camp here as well. By clearing out those two creep camps, he should be able to set up an economic advantage and be able to train up enough mercenaries to have a very, very good head start. However, ZhouXiXi is going for an Altar of Elders late, which means he should be able to get 2, if not 3 archers by the time he really wants to start creeping. Now, what is the benefit of getting 2 to 3 archers? Well, very, very much, or a very, very high benefit, in fact, just because of the amount of damage you can deal. Archers, 16 to 18 damage is in fact a lot, as we are going into a Dark Ranger opening by ZhouXiXi. There is a 3rd archer already coming into play, and if the Dark Ranger can play the cards right, the Dark Ranger should be able to clear out this creep camp, have the benefit of not only the mercenary camp, but a whole bunch of skeletal minions, allowing him to just snowball, or rather her, to snowball into a much, much stronger army. Now, here we go, the archers, there's that Ancient of War, and the Ancient of War is going to be absorbing a bit of damage. You can see the skeletal minions have started popping up, going after those lower 1 hit point or level 1 creep camps rather quickly is very, very smart. Now you can see that the Kobold Tunners are taking a little bit of damage as well, as we also see a Lightning Shield down over here. Now, are we going to see, yes, another Kobold Geomancer taken down? It looks like the Tunneler will get taken down as well. 4 skeletal minions already and a Dark Ranger at level 2. Meanwhile, that Mountain King already at level 2, almost at level 3, and has a Troll Shadow Priest. Who has the advantage? Well, let's see. Supply count, 26 over 30 compared to 30 over 30. Human does have a slight advantage there, but the Dark Ranger is going to continue to grow at a very, very fast rate because of those skeletal minions. You can see an army of 4 skeletal minions already working together there. They are doing 9 to 10 damage each. So if you think every 3 skeletal minions has as much DPS as 2 footmen, that is about right. The Dark Ranger now going to be coming in here, and oh, that footman is going to have a very, very bad day, and 1 or 2 more shots should do it, and it is going to get taken down. There it goes. There's that extra skeletal minion once more, and we now have 4 skeletal minions on the field. I don't believe that the human player Th000 was actually expecting this at all. You can see that these skeletal minions are really not much of a threat towards ZhouXiXi's bottom line, but it is causing a bit of disruption inside of the base. This is giving time for the Dark Ranger perhaps to get to level 3, and if it does get to level 3, that means that the Dark Ranger is going to be just cranking out level 2 Dark Minions instead of the lesser Dark Minions, the full Dark Minions dealing 15 to 17 damage, which is in fact more damage than even Militia and Footmen. So all of a sudden, these lesser Dark Minions being replaced by Dark Minions themselves will have a very, very profound impact, as the Mountain King is also sitting at level 3. there is a Tree of Life now being constructed. All of a sudden, it looks like the Dark Ranger wants to go into a long economic game, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You really want your dark minions to be pushing sometime at tier, or sometime once your level 3 Dark Ranger is able to crank out a lot of minions here. You can see that the Mountain King is still right there, and that Mountain King is taking actually a little bit of damage as he now tries to back off. Skeletal minions are going to just be overcommitting here. They are going to get taken down one at a time, and ZhouXiXi is actually getting a lot of experience on this Mountain King, getting that much closer to level 4. Now, that does come as a bit of a surprise. That Mountain King should not be that close to level 4 already, but since he is the only solo hero, he's going to be able to do a lot. Dark Ranger sitting at level 3, perhaps getting the Gloves of Haste, or perhaps getting some very strong items from this marketplace is going to help him out. Claws of Attack +6 or +9 would be a very, very big bonus indeed, as the Dark Ranger now dealing 26 to 36 damage per attack. Now, Panda being added into ZhouXiXi's army, and this could actually add a lot of extra damage. All of a sudden, that army of footmen that was used to counter all of those archers may actually be a bit of a hindrance or a bit of a blessing in disguise, as we're looking at the armies now trying to push in here. Mountain King, is it going to perhaps get off a Stormbolt? I don't believe so. Wait, maybe, perhaps, as the Dark Ranger still going after all of these Troll Shadow Priest units. Alright, there is that Stormbolt. ZhouXiXi is in a bit of trouble. Needs to back off with the Dark Ranger. The Dark Ranger taking a lot of damage. There is another bash right there, as all of a sudden there's a quick reveal, and now the Mountain King at level 4 may be able to finish off many of those units, but instead another Dark Minion does come out. Another quick Abolish Magic being brought into play. Dark Ranger now down to 220 hit points. Needs to run back. Has to be extremely careful. And is that Mountain King gonna get off another Stormbolt? I don't believe so, but the Dark Ranger is still very, very vulnerable at this time. That Mountain King going after the Troll Shadow Priest. The Troll Shadow Priest gets his troll once again, and the Mountain King still gonna continue to give chase. Panda doing a little bit of one-on-one engagement. It looks as though the Panda should be able to finish off the Troll. Oh, a beautiful pathing block right there, as the Troll Shadow Priest gets taken down by the help of a Wisp. Panda now looking to back off once again. The Panda dealing with that Mountain King. Mountain King trying to give chase, as all of a sudden the Panda is going to be backing off. Dark Ranger sitting at level 3 does have a Staff of Preservation. Mountain King sitting at level 4. Once it gets to level 5 though, that Mountain King's assassinating ability is going to be going through the roof. That extra 100 points of damage, or 125 points of damage from that Mountain King does generally translate to very, very dead heroes. Once you are focused down, the fact that you are not moving allows the rest of the units to catch up to you, and that does cause problems. Dark Ranger, or rather Panda level 1, Dark Ranger level 3. There is the level 2 Panda. Are we perhaps going to see a level 4 Dark Ranger? I'm not quite sure what we would be looking at here, as there is a Stormbolt, and that Panda now down to 360 some odd hit points is going to be engaging once more. Are we going to perhaps turn around and get off a Breath of Fire? Dark Ranger gets up to the level 4, and now the Panda needs to be, or the Mountain King needs to be a little bit careful. Are we going to perhaps see a Breath of Fire? We are still going into a little bit of an engagement, and what is going on here? The Trees of Life and the Tree Ancient of War doing so much damage. Are we going to see perhaps a Breath of Fire? One Breath of Fire would have been enough. Not quite sure why we haven't seen it just quite yet, as the Dark Ranger now low on hit points, and there is a Scroll of Town portal in order to get everyone out of this very, very precarious situation. However, the Ancient of War is not going to be able to root itself. The Tree of Life has been able to root itself in time, and with the amount of piercing and hero damage in this army, this Tree of Life doesn't look like it's really threatened at all by his opponent. Alright, Tree of Life now slowly inching forward again. Dark Ranger now adding in a little bit of extra damage, as there is a Stormbolt followed by some more attacks, and all of a sudden the Dark Ranger is in a bit of trouble. Dark Ranger uses another healing potion, now trying to engage. Are we going to see enough here? The Dark Ranger now trying to back off here. Dryad still being added, and there goes the Mountain King. Mountain King sitting at level 5. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? No, we are not. We could be seeing a Breath of Fire, though. No, does not get the Breath of Fire off in time, and that was a huge, huge play. Dark Ranger now trying to run away. It looks as though the slow was cast on him. Is the Dark Ranger going to be able to get away in time? And it looks as though the rest of the units are going to finish it off. No, Staff of Preservation down to 5 hit points. Teleports it back off to the north. Panda, however, now in a very, very bad situation. It looks as though the Mountain King going to finish off that Panda. One more shot should do it. And what is going on? No, the Panda, down to 27 hit points, was able to escape. So far, this is not going anywhere as I expected. As we can see, the rest of the armies just trying to engage again. Dark Ranger walks in with very, very low hit points. And there goes the GG. All right. Human, once again, taking this game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.